Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to 2023. This is the first video I'm filming and putting up in 2023. So happy new year to all of you, and I really hope you had a great new year, even all of you living alone, far away from family. I really hope you had a pleasant new year. We're in January still, so I'm sure a lot of you are still very motivated and you want to be productive, put out resolutions, but we're going to talk more on that in the video as I do my makeup. I'm really thinking of doing something pink. I don't know, I'm feeling pink today. Pink and purple. So I have all these shadows, these fun colors. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm just going to go ahead and just be in my process of creation while I chit chat with you guys, which is your favorite thing with me. So I've put down 10 points that I wanted to discuss with you that I've either learned or I want to incorporate into my year in 2023, and I really hope this motivates you as well and we can begin this year fresh and happy. So yeah, without further ado, let's quickly jump into the makeup. I will be using some new stuff, which I'll put in the bottom bar below. This is the Colourpop palette. Okay, it's the Control Alt Glam Marielle and Colourpop collaboration. This came to me in December and they sent me PR. It's an interesting pink purple vibe that I anyway wanted to go with. So I thought I'll try that. And these are also collaborations from the same creator, I guess. So yeah, these are like fun colors I'm gonna play with. I just wanted to let you know. So happy new year again. I really wanted to wish my YouTube fam because I wished my Instagram fam. Yeah, I think it's gonna be my 8th year on YouTube. It's been such a journey and you guys have been with me through and through. There is not like a single moment I can remember being without you guys since the past 8 years. So you're so special to me, and it's gonna be another fantastic eighth year, life changing, because of course I'm pregnant and I'm gonna give birth. I'm so scared of labor, but we're not talking about labor. As we near my date, we shall do another video on how I'm scared. But now we're good. I am doing well physically. If you guys are wanting to know how I am mentally, where I am right now, so I am doing okay. I'm still going through a lot of things personally in the background, but for now I'm working on my mental health, I'm working on my physical health. I started my prenatal workouts, which is going fantastic, by the way. I'm feeling good about it, that I'm able to work out during pregnancy and that I'm fit to work out. It's but I'm eating well finally. People say like first 3 months and then once you hit the fourth month. Girl, I was sick for 4 months straight up. I think when you near the second trimester, the second half of the second trimester, you start feeling a little good. So I'm feeling good. I'm eating everything. I'm eating in moderation. I'm eating good stuff. Sometimes when I feel like indulging, I indulge in pancakes. So I'm not eating any fried food and stuff like that. I stay away from sodas, and I don't even feel like doing it anyway, not because of the baby, but in general. So yeah, I'm fine, you guys. I'm getting there. It's a journey which we're going to talk about now. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about is is self-work and inner healing in 2023. I have just had quite a rough year, and that's why it's been like really difficult for me to cope with a lot of changes physically, mentally. Like I said, with the first trimester came a lot of prenatal depression, a little bit of unhappiness, a lot of different physical changes. I started therapy. It was just a lot, it was a lot coming at one time. I wasn't able to take my time, so that's what I'm doing right now as we speak. I just feel like doing the self work and to heal is so important, and that is my word for 2023. It's healing. Okay, I feel like a lot of people are at that stage in life where they have good and bad days, and during the bad days, they just wait for it to pass, and then when they're distracted with something great, they feel like everything's back to normal and let's get on with life. But I feel like, if you don't heal, if you don't address your past traumas, your baggages, whether it is breakups, they're hard, fights with your parents, siblings, work colleagues, or you've been through personal traumas, abuse, any sort of trauma that has triggered you in the past, as a child or growing up. I think it's time to address that this year if you haven't done it already. People say, well, I'm fine, I don't even think about it, I'm good, I speak to my friends. It is temporary. Like, I'm telling you, those are temporary healings. They're pockets of healings that you get because you have awesome friends and family around, I'm sure, that make you feel great. I think it's important to understand that when you are alone with your thoughts, when you're sitting alone, how are you feeling? Okay, what is triggering you? What are some things that bother you during the day? And what are some periods where you are very angry, when you're sad, when you don't want to talk to anyone? Those are the kind of phases you want to address with healing, okay? But a lot of the times, the problem lies deep within us, and we feel sort of empty, on days like that. I know you know what I mean. Like, there are some people who just get it right now. Mals, how do I heal? Okay, how do I start the process of healing? I would really say, again, self work is all about sitting down with yourself. Okay, it's not about spending time with a friend or like mom or anybody. It's literally working on yourself. And I just realized this year, like you guys know already, and I've spoken about it, that the relationship you have with yourself tops any relationship in your life. Okay, whether it is your child, whether it is your partner, whether it's your mother, it comes secondary. I think you are the most important person in your life, and I can tell you with experience that that is true. Okay, and if you don't take the time out to heal and address what's bothering this very body and this soul inside, you're carrying it with you till your grave. You're carrying the pain, the burden till your grave. Why are you doing that to this beautiful self of yours? So I feel like sit down with yourself, spend some time with yourself. I really feel like that is self-work. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is not sit on Instagram. I've been guilty of that. You want your mornings to start good, right? So I highly recommend spending time with yourself. Either it's getting a cup of coffee, tea, sitting with yourself by the window, and just sit. Don't look at your phone, no digital, no music, quiet. Just sit. And this is good early in the morning, before your bike comes, before your mother wakes up, starts like before all the noise and rattle of everything, before your kids are up. I highly recommend you lose an hour of sleep and gain this 1 hour in the morning to just be with yourself. It's very peaceful, it's very calming, you're not doing anything intense. Allow the thoughts to pass through you, allow your fears, your insecurities, your doubts to just pass through you. Second thing, I would love you guys to journal. Everyone is going through something. Like, address that stuff. Okay, all of us are going through something that's breaking our heart. So you want to start writing that down in your book. It does not have to make sense to anyone. It's your personal secret diary that nobody gets to read. I'll tell you what I do, and I've mentioned this before, but in case you're new, what I do is I sort of write a gratitude list, and I'm very specific in what gratitudes I mention. For example, I'll just say gratitude and I put down the date. Always write the date, it's really cool. When you go back, you'll see where you were in January 2023 and how far you've come in 2023 December, which is magical. Okay, so what you want to do is just start with the gratitude list. Even one gratitude is fine. You don't have to write a list of 10 things, okay? You can say, I'm so grateful for the tea time I had yesterday with myself. I spent a whole of 20 minutes just by myself. That's a blessing, okay? I loved it that my baby hugged me before going to school. Very specific. I loved it when I called up my friend and she just told me how happy she was when she got her job. Anything that sparked a joy in your life, that is gratitude. Working on your trauma, whether it's taking therapy. I've started therapy. It's helping me vent. It's helping me talk about some things that I know if I say to anyone else, there's a lot of advice and stuff that I don't really want sometimes. I just want someone to listen, some non-judgmental venting. And that's what I do, and my therapist just is a good listener. And I'm giving it a shot. I'm giving it 2-3 more classes. I'm seeing how I feel about it. And yeah, I highly recommend, if you're like, Mars, where do I look for a therapist? I want to start. There is this website called Therapize. That's where I found my therapist. So it sort of curates a therapist according to your needs, and you sort of find your fit. Don't give up on therapy. It may not be for you, it may be for you, but try it now. Find out if it's your thing or not. No problem. It may not be your thing, but it's just having someone to talk to and help you deal with stuff on a daily basis. Just giving you the tools to breathe, giving you the tools to bring you back to yourself. These are all really cool things you learn in therapy, which is great. Okay, so self-work in 2023, so important. Next is Stop chasing, start living. I genuinely feel like last year in 2022, after the Cannes Film Festival, I just felt like such a rush that I just wanted to not stop. I wanted to go and go on and go on. And I was happy to do that. Like, I enjoy my job so much. Like, I just absolutely love my job. And you guys know that I wouldn't be here otherwise after 8 years. So I love that I get to do what I do. So I was just chasing, working. Yeah, I completely like sidetracked my well being. I'm just like, I'm good. I'm feeling so good. This is so nice. And it's all a temporary high, right? The adrenaline kicks in and you're doing well at work. It's all a temporary high. And at some point, it comes to a stop because you are not giving yourself grace. You're not giving yourself time. You're not addressing your fears and your healing. You're not doing the self work. I didn't pay attention to myself at all, dude. Like, self work and spending time with yourself, tiny 2022 mein. First half. I was just going through life chasing, best beauty blogger, blah, blah, blah. Let's do this. Like, no time to stop. Let's work on my company. Let's work on content creation. I was doing so much that I was not mentally ready to take on so much, and I took on a lot onto myself. And if you're planning to take on a lot and like go into a certain life where you think you need to give yourself so much to like your relationship, your family, you have to give your energy away so much. You have to remember to keep some energy for yourself as well. And when you don't do that, you get spent, you get burnt out, right? And when that burnout phase comes and you don't realize it hits you like a truck, you are just confused as to why am I not motivated today? What is this pit? I'm feeling this emptiness inside for so long. But my life is good. I'm happy. Everything's fine. Why am I so unhappy and like empty? Why do I go to bed feeling so empty? That's a burnout phase. And that happened to me, especially once I got pregnant. I realized that phase is coming fast because physically also I was not obviously coping because the first trimester absolutely ruins you. At the same time, mentally I was not prepared to take on the pregnancy. It just starts affecting you and you get really lonely and did not know how to cope. So I went into a really dark place where I was quite unhappy. I was heading to a very lonely area in my life, okay? And I was aware. It's important to be aware of your feelings. And if I was not like aware of all of this, I would have really been in a bad place, you guys. It's important to understand when, like, whoa, when to stop. Be like, okay, that is not okay. Like, I'm thinking of a very dark thought right now. It's not normal to be so dark. Let's change it. Let's pull myself back in. Let's ask for help. Let's go to a friend of mine. Let's tell my girlfriend I'm not okay. Talk to me. Like, either talk to a friend, talk to your mom, whoever gives you comfort in the beginning when you're sensing you're heading down a dark path. Take help immediately. Okay? But you have to recognize that you are heading down a dark path. No one's living in your brain. We're always trying to be the best version of ourselves and pretend that we're okay. But sometimes we're not okay, and it's okay to address it. So stop chasing a life that you think you want. It'll happen at the right time. You don't have to do everything in 1 year. That's why resolutions, I put down some goals, which is important, but writing down like hard stop resolutions, like in 2023, I must do this, otherwise you can't do something, otherwise you'll be unhappy. You can't chase an outcome. Okay, an outcome is not in your control. You can do whatever you want. You can plan your life 10 years from now, and it will go a very different way. It's not in your control, ma'am. Like, I don't know why we think we're so in control of our lives and we will decide the outcome of this life and I will dictate how my life goes. You can to a certain extent. After that, you have to let go. When it doesn't turn out your way, you have to just get the memo that life is turning you into a different direction and you just have to pivot and just follow path and be okay with that, And I was like such a big control freak where I wanted everything to go my way, and it's not possible. Like, you will exhaust yourself. Okay? So stop chasing, start living. Remember the smaller moments in your life. Even if you just got a promotion, if you celebrated your birthday and you took a trip with your boyfriend or your partner, were able to do anything small this year, if you're able to buy that piece of eyeshadow palette that you always wanted for 5,000 rupees, achievement, enjoy it, celebrate it. Celebrate the smaller moments in life that will give you like joy. Okay, instead of being like, okay, only if I pass this test, only if I pass this exam and ace my test and I make it to university will I be happy. Those are great milestones, but what about the smaller milestones in the middle, where you got to celebrate your dad's birthday before he passed away, where you got to celebrate your mama before she got sick, where you're able to just be with your sibling before he left for university. Those are small things you can celebrate. You just went to bandstand and had that cup of ice cream that day. Celebrate it, okay? Just like small wins help you like sustain that contentment that you have in your heart. It just sustains the happiness through and through. Otherwise, you're happy and then you're waiting for the next happy moment and you're waiting for the next happy moment. It's too jumpy and it's too much to take on for you. You're just chasing happiness all the time. You're chasing one moment to change your life. It's exhausting, man. It's exhausting to chase that promotion. It's exhausting to chase that partner of yours that you've been crushing for so long. That's what I mean by start live your life, okay? It's passing you by and you're never going to get 2023 back. Like 2022 is over. So whatever you've said and done, it's over. It's done. Khatam ho gaya. Forget the past and future. Forgive yourself and be present. Yeah, it's like in tune with the previous point that I was saying about, I think we all, as humans, it's a tendency to live in the past. I think we just wallow and wallow and wallow. What if I had not left him? What if he was the one? What if I had chosen that college to go to? I would have been in different places right now. It's just always we are stuck in a loop of the past, and it's not even last year. We think of 10, 15 years, dude. You're still reminiscing like you've still not found love. I wish I had stayed. I should have forgiven him. It's my fault. The blame, the resentment, the contempt you have for yourself is unreal. We are our biggest critics, man. I have realized like this year we are so hard on ourselves. Like we cannot stop blaming ourselves because of someone else's problems. Just because he or she walked away, just because your friend left you, your mom fought with you, it's your fault. And you know what? It may be your fault. Forgive yourself. You did the best you could with the knowledge given at that time. Okay, so reminiscing about it now is not going to change anything. The previous 30 seconds are not going to come back. You've already watched this video. Unlike YouTube videos, you can rewind and watch again. Life is not a YouTube video. You cannot rewind. You can't. You have to be present in this moment. Forgive yourself even if you cheated, even if you shouted at your mama, if you declined that job offer. You made the decision when you could at that time, given whatever circumstances you had, and that's the best you could do. Okay, tell yourself that was the best decision I could have made. The right time is coming. There's a reason why you decided what you decided then. So forgive yourself. Okay, give yourself grace. And when I say like don't think of the future, I mean like it's great to have plans of the future. It's great to think of your life in a certain way. It's like kind of like manifesting the life of your dreams, and I do that a lot. I imagine myself here, I imagine myself happy here. Great, do that. The more you envision yourself like happy in a beautiful setup with a great family, it's awesome for you. It's feeding you with like really good energy. But what I mean is don't be too anal and like hell-bent if life doesn't turn your way. You can plan your life. We all think we can plan our lives a certain way, but it's not textbook. It's not a formula that you can follow. Sometimes life falls out of track, and be okay with that. So don't obsess about the future. If I don't make it to university, I will not be the person I was intending to be. My mother's going to be sad if I don't be a doctor. I'm going to fail my father. We'll come to that when we come to that. Right now, that's not the point. And you know what? Easier said than done. It's all about training yourself, right? No one is chasing perfection here. We're all trying to do the best that we can and see where life takes us. Next is a quote that I read on Oprah's caption. Actually, I love Oprah. Who doesn't? And she wrote, "Remember how far you've come and not how far you have left to go." So cool. I just love that quote and I wanted to like put it out there. I thought about that a lot. Okay, we always think about, itna time bacha hai. I have like only so much. I'm 34. I don't have a family. I'm not pregnant. I want to have kids. Or I'm 34. I don't want to have kids. But what will society say? I'm 35, 36. I don't have a partner. Will I ever find love? Am I always going to be alone? I have only 10 years left to make it in this job. We're always concerned about the finish line. We're always concerned about how much time we have left to go. But think about how far you've come. However old you are, You made it, girl. Like, you freaking made it through that heartbreak, through that abuse, through that abusive father, through your friend who abandoned you when you needed her the most, through that job, through that colleague who disrespected you. You made it to the next stage of life by yourself. Okay, and that is kudos to you. That is incredible. That is courage. That is bravery. So I'm proud of myself for making it through 30 years of life. My next point is letting go of people. This is so important. I want you to listen to this point very, very carefully, you guys, because I know that this is not easy. This is absolutely not easy. Letting go of people is probably one of the hardest decisions humans have to make, especially if we love that person a lot. And this is also mostly important when it comes to friends. I feel like a lot of us have a lot of friend breakups, like, my best girlfriend, your best boyfriend, whoever, your bestie. Sometimes it doesn't work out, and letting go of that friendship hurts you so much because that's all you've ever known, and you have joyful moments, and now that friendship doesn't serve you anymore, or that friend has turned bitter, or like they don't support you anymore, that everything has changed and you miss that old version of your friendship. People are in your life for a season, and once that season is done, that chapter is closed. You can do whatever in your power to pull back that person into your life, but when the season is done, they're no longer serving you in your life. Okay, that chapter has to close for a new chapter to begin. He or she gave you whatever they could in that duration of the season, whether it's years, weeks, months, 20 years. They gave you everything and you took everything from them, and after that there is nothing left to give and take. And when that happens, it's a very crucial point to remember that there is a point where you have to be aware of that now it's done. And whether it's a family relative, you know what I mean, any relationship. And it's important to recognize that, because if you don't recognize that, it can be a very stuck position. You can be very stuck in life, not knowing what the next chapter is and how do you move on from that and move forward from that. And it can be very difficult for relationships in general over the spectrum. Sometimes that happens where you're just like, no man, you're no longer adding value to my life. This mostly comes from someone you love a lot, and then they've done something to hurt you, but you still forgive them, accept them, and it keeps going back and forth where they keep hurting you. It's a pattern, and you need to recognize that pattern when it occurs, and just remember that people are in your life for a season, sometimes for an entire lifetime, but sometimes not. A lot of people fall out of your life, okay? Let them fall out. They will either come back to your life replenished, because a lot of people don't have what it takes to be in your life in that season. They maybe you're growing too fast, or maybe they are growing too fast and they don't have room for you. Sometimes you have to step back. Okay, so it's really important to understand that when there's no room to grow with each other together, that relationship has no value. Okay, and maybe you have a fallout, 10 years later you've both grown in your life and you've come back together. Maybe not. And it's important to recognize that point in life. And I feel like most of us miss it because we're so emotional about relationships. Of course we should be. Spend more time with family. I specifically wrote that as a separate point. I just didn't think of spending time with the people that matter to me the most, which is my family. And I have very little of it. I don't have a massive family. Okay, it's just my brother, mom, Chloe, and a few of my friends that I haven't met or spent time with. And I feel like that happens when you're in the peak of your career, when you're trying to make it, when you have a family. Everyone is so busy in their own life, dealing with their own issues. But I feel like this year I need to take time out to spend with my mom and have those fun moments, those anniversaries, those birthdays that you guys missed out on. Do that together and create core memories with them, and then you have a fantastic album of memories and everything. And a family can be anybody, okay? I know a lot of people don't have family. Family is not biological. I truly believe that your parent, your mother, father, or anyone blood relative, is not really your family if they don't treat you right. Okay, everybody says, yeah, he's mean, but he's blood relative. Blood will always be blood. I don't believe that in a percent also. Family comes from love, kindness, empathy, being there when you need them, and family is the one who raises you. Anyone can be a father, anyone can be a mother, but the one who raises you, that is your family. So a lot of people are raised by their grandparents, and their biological parents are not around for a long time. And so the child looks to the grandparents as their parents. Those are your parents. okay, because they raise you. People who are there with you, your best girlfriend, your best guy friend, whoever's with you in the toughest times, holding your hand through that period is your family. So that's what I mean by family. Why haven't you taken that trip? Because you have work? No. Use up all of those holidays that you have pent up in your work. Take those 2-3 days off during the year. Use up your holidays and use it well. All right, this is for all my babies in a relationship, whether it's new, married, have a kid, no problem. It's never too late. This year in 2023, you will discuss the real hard questions in your relationship. Okay, you will talk about what lifestyle you want, your finance, your fears, your traumas, healing patterns, therapy, politics, who they look up to, kids, no kids, career, religion. Okay, you will tackle these topics with your partner starting this year, starting today. All push stuff under the rug all the time because we're having a good time, we're vacationing, it's so peaceful, we're having a beautiful candlelight dinner, and then we're gonna have like some steamy time together. But there is a time and place, and there is a time for conversations, and I feel like that conversation is so important, and you must have that conversation with your partner and touch up on each topic, okay, and see where you guys are standing individually. At the end of the day, it is a partnership, and you guys are a team, and you have to be like a team. You guys have to be best friends, and you have to lift each other up in the life that you want to live, okay, individual goals and dreams, and then you come together as a team. So if you're not getting that through your partner right now, you need to talk about these things. When you're uncomfortable, when you're feeling this discomfort, when you're triggered by something they said, address it. Talk about stuff. Communication is so important. Communicate these things before you jump into a marriage, before you jump into having kids, before you give the commitment of bigger things in life with your partner. Have a whole lot of discussion so you know where exactly they stand, and you're fearless moving forward in your marriage. Where do we go on trips? And I'm so la la la. You can be all that cute, but girl, this is a relationship. This is what's going to sustain your marriage. So whether you are in a arranged setup of marriage, when you are in a love marriage, been together for 15 years and not got married but planning to get married, if you're with someone and you're planning to spend the rest of your life with that person, it is a huge commitment and decision, and tackling these topics is going to change the course of your relationship. Putting it under the rug, coming out with no outcome at the end of the discussion is not healthy. Keep talking about it and understand what your priorities are individually. Okay, there are some like, I cannot do this. There are some, I'm flexible in this. Know what those things are about your partner, and know that if he or she does not want something and wants something, if there's a hard stop, can you live with that hard stop? Are you okay compromising that part of your life just to be with that person? Yes, no, don't know. You can't get on board then when you're like 35. You have to get on board way early to know that, okay, this is the way it's going to pan out. And a lot of us come from trauma with money, with sex, with everything. We all have triggers, okay, and it's important to address that. It's a highlight for 2023 is to discuss very, very difficult topics with your partners and with your father and mother and whoever around you. That's important. If there's some sort of a life you want to live moving forward, communicate that to your parents. Tell them that I'm not okay with the traditional married life. I want to date people, but I don't want to commit. Tell them your plans. Otherwise, you're setting them up for failure. You're setting them up for an expectation that their daughter and son are going to get married, give me a grandchild. You don't want kids. Communicate. I don't want kids, and this is a choice I am making, and nothing can change that. And my mind can change, but it's my decision to make. Okay, just let them in on your plans, your close people, so they're not hit by a truck. Everybody needs time to cope with the decisions you make, because it's not easy, right? We've come a long way where we're able and we're blessed to be able to take decisions like this today. We're privileged. Okay, so recognize your privilege and have these discussions with your parents, your in-laws, your partner. On your next date, you will remember me and you will have this discussion. Okay, you just bring out a big notepad, wherever it is, your next date, whatever the next date is. Listen, okay, today, tomorrow, when you're watching this video, your next date has to be, let's go on a date where it's just both of us and I want to have a conversation with you. And let me know how that goes, some way, shape or form. Next is have boundaries. Okay, this one's important, especially for my ladies out there, even for men, but I have majority of women watching me. It's very important to understand boundaries and implement them in your life. Okay, Mars, what are boundaries? Drawing the line to your comfort zone, basically. And you have to have boundaries with every relationship in your life. Okay, and I mean your partner, your mother, your children, your colleagues, your friends, everybody. Okay, they should all know what your boundaries are, and if they love you, they will stick by those boundaries and not cross it. Okay, for example, social life, they're like, chal aaja bahar jana hai yaar, it's a Friday night, dude, let's go drinking, it's been so long since we haven't gone. And you are tired, you are spent, you are exhausted from your home problems, you are not in the state to go drinking and partying because you have had an exhaustive week with your children, or you have had an exhaustive week in general, and you want to go home. Do not feel peer pressure to go to the party. It can be the most important office party of the year. If you're not okay, if you do not feel like going, chalna, come, you have to do it for me. What is this? Yeah, this is the boundary when it comes in. Hey, I appreciate you wanting me there, but I really cannot do tonight. It's something that I have to take a step back in. I need some time to process. I'm going through a lot at home, but I'll definitely catch up with you next week. We will party it out even more, but right now I'm not in the mental space for this tonight. They will still force you, come na, chalna, ye sab kya bol rahi hai, bro. I'm so sorry. I love you and appreciate you, but I'm not gonna make it tonight. I'm just walking out of there. If they feel bad, if they react, it's their problem. Okay, they will be okay. After drinking, they'll forget all about it. You will be so okay that you made that decision and you walked away. Okay, you will know why you needed that break. Sometimes we cannot adhere to social settings, we cannot be in a social setting. Say no, and that is what boundaries are, learning to say no to things that you've always said yes to. Okay, there's a family function, there's a wedding happening, उन लोगों ने हमको इनवाइट किया, अभी हम उनको इनवाइट करेंगे, अभी जाना ही पड़ेगा. मतलब कैसा लगेगा अगर हम नहीं जाएंगे, अरे मेरा बेस्ट फ्रेंड का शादी है, आना पड़ेगा, मेरी बहन की शादी है, आना पड़ेगा. And you just had like a miserable breakup, or you just had like the shittiest day at work, and you're not about to face 10,000 relatives coming and telling you शादी कर लो, बच्चे कर लो, कैसा चल रहा है, काम, billion taunts. You're not about to face that night. You're not in the zone today to face the taunts, and it's okay. Today I will stay out of this event and I will stay at home because I'm not feeling okay, and I will come to the next one. And if your parents don't understand that, if they force you to it, I still recommend pushing a hard stop. That's your boundary line you're creating, and not going anyway. They will be angry for 2-3 days. They're your parents, they will forgive you eventually. Okay, so these are some examples of boundaries. Saying no to things, be okay with people being unhappy with you. It's fine, they will get over it. That's their problem to deal with, not yours. You have bigger things to take care of, which is this soul. You have to nurture that baby inside you. Your soul is your baby, not your baby like my baby. Okay, another point which my girls know already, but I'm gonna reiterate this every time. It will never not be in a video like this. This is for all my ladies out there. Work towards a life of independence. It does not matter if you come from a wealthy family. It does not matter who your father is. It does not matter who your brother is or your husband or partner is. Okay, it really does not matter. You're not defined by anybody else's wealth. You have to be self-sustaining when you're an adult. Okay, and that is whenever it's possible for you to earn your own money. It is definitely not easy. Okay, there is a beginning where it'll start off slow, and then you will work towards the life that you have dreamt of. And this will happen only when you decide that you want to be independent eventually. Okay, even if that's like you want to be a mother, you eventually want to settle down and have kids, you don't want a job, that's fine. If you think that that's the life you want, plan for it now when you're young. Have enough money so that if there is a rainy day, and there will be a rainy day, I hope there's not, but sometimes there is, you have enough. Suppose your partner lost his job, you have enough to support the family. Suppose he walks out on you, you have to walk out on him. You have the money. Freedom is very important to me. For my girls out there watching right now, even if it's a mere salary that you get doing what you love, do it. Even like family, hum hai na beta, that's great. Thank you for being my backup. But I need to be my first backup. I need to be my first person that I fall back on is me. Okay, and you need to have that, because if you're a single mother, if anything had to happen, you can take your bags and leave. And you can be like, I'm no longer going to be in this abusive marriage. I'm no longer going to take this from my in-laws. I'm no longer going to be with my abusive father, and I'm going to pick up and walk out with my mother. Okay, it's so important to understand that, because whatever age you are right now, oh God, this is going to be hard. And I feel like if you're in that position, it just empowers you, my girls. It empowers you to be who you are and take your own decisions. A life of independence is something I cannot explain in words. It is something that I'm so grateful for my mother for teaching me, that it's so important to just be your own woman, your own person. And it is the greatest lesson she has ever taught me, and I will continue to live by that, and I want to pass it on from one mama to another mama to another. Especially if you're planning kids and children and you're planning to have a whole family, you're living with your in-laws, it does not matter, girl. The minute you bring kids into the picture, you have to have your own savings account. This joint account stuff is great, amazing, keep the joint account, but you need to have your own individual bank accounts. And I highly encourage you to do that, because it is life-changing. You don't get to blame anybody if you don't have the things you want to have. I wanted this, but I married into this family. Now I can't have this. Yeah, why did I do this? He lost his job. Now I can't even shop for that thing. I don't have. Stop complaining. You want a certain life, get it yourself. Okay, irrespective of who your partner is, you want that life. Why should anybody be responsible for giving you the life of your dreams? I'm sorry, I don't get that concept. You want to go on 3 trips a year, you want to have like fun with your friends, you want to drink, you want to eat out, you want to do whatever. Nobody should be responsible for catering to the life of your dreams. Whatever that version of dream looks like to you, you know it. And if you want all that glam and jazz and materialistic stuff, and if you want to go to college, if you want to go to university, you want to study, work towards that. Work towards collecting the money for that. And then you'll have paid it off yourself. You'll have had the life of your dreams because you yourself went and chased it, and nobody had to drain their savings account for you. Now I'm like 22, 23. Now my parents can't pay shit for me. Like, I need to be responsible for my own money. Be independent. It is the greatest gift you will ever give yourself. If you want a fancy life or if you want a regular life, you need a basic sum of income that comes into your bank account monthly. You need to have money at the end of the day. Very little to a lot, it doesn't matter, as long as you're working towards the right amount and you're working towards your dream income. You got this. Okay, I'm going to use this Colourpop Marielle blush in Digital Baddie. I love that name. It's okay not to know what you want. It's okay to not know that question for a long time. Figure it out on the way, right? Just because you're 18, you're like hammering yourself that, I don't know what to do in life. Every one of my friends at such a good position, they're married, they have kids. I've not even found a partner on my dream job. And I'm like nearing 30. I don't know what to do with my life. Or like I'm turning 24 and I have no goals and dreams. You're 24, boss. Chill. You're 24. Relax. Take your time to figure it out, and I promise you'll figure it out. There's no way you won't if you're a very strong, driven person. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you don't know what you want to do in life. It's okay that you don't know what you want to do in life, okay? Take your time. That's why you have all the time to figure it out. Don't chase someone else's timeline, okay? They're doing their own thing. Everybody is dealing with issues. Even if you think that they are married and they're happy and there's a bunch of other shit that they're dealing with that you aren't. So consider yourself lucky. It's just a reminder to myself and to you and to me that we all need to live and choose to be happy, and we need to choose to live the life of our dreams and not have a mediocre life. I'm going to end this video because it's already 50 minutes, I can call it. But that's all I have for you in today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for being so supportive during all these 8 years of my life and my journey. And you guys are like everything to me. Thank you for just being patient with me on social media. I've been just going through a lot, and so I'm not available, and I would just really love it if you guys just are patient with me. I hope this year is like fantastic for both of us. I just hope that we make better choices this year and forgive ourselves, and all the mistakes we are about to make are gonna be shitty, but we will remember that it's okay, and it's okay to forgive ourselves and give ourselves grace. Okay, so I love you, and I will see you in my next video.